What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
What's up?
Not
Welcome
much.
to MelBee's Tea and a Cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe.
Live.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So how's everybody doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm
What's
just
up,
gonna
Joe?
share. I'm gonna share the live in a couple of places.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what's up, guys?
Nothing. We were just waiting for you to share
Like,
live.
what's going on?
Hey, you like okay? All right, cool. Yeah. So,
How was everybody's weekend?
I mean, my weekend was good. Give or take everything that's going on around the world with the Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, it's an emotional toll, but otherwise, my weekend was good. How was yours, Joe?
what was that?
I said, how was yours?
How was your weekend?
Oh, I thought she was asking you. Well, my weekend was cool. It was relaxing. Too hot to be outside. I'm trying to maintain whatever light skin I got left because it's so hot outside. So
Why you want to be like?
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with being black?
I like it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I think it fills me out nicely. But whatever light skin I got left,
Fills you out.
it is what it is. How about you, Melissa?
My weekend was good. I can't complain. I did some little running around today. Definitely a lot of relaxation yesterday. I didn't get anything accomplished, but actually no, I went on a hike yesterday and a jog. So I did do that, and then I ran some errands today. So yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get back on the exercise thing. That they just started opening the parks back up. So, but once again, it is hot as hell outside. So there's that.
Yeah.
And then definitely not going outside, running around on the track with a mask on. That's not happening.
No, you gotta be careful.
You don't necessarily need to have a mask if you're like by yourself.
Well, no, there's gonna be people there.
Oh my God. Yeah, if there's people there, I think they want you.
Tons of people there at the park. They're all trying to get their exercise in.
Yeah.
So all good.
Sorry. Follow the rules.
We're gonna get into today's topic. And this is actually a suggestion from one of our fans. I like to take topic suggestions from fans and put it out there. This is from a friend of mine named Adrian, and we're going to be going on interracial dating 2.0 in today's topic, dealing with everything that's going on right now. I know
it should be interesting.
Yeah, I know some friends, and I've been seeing a lot of people who are in interracial relationships who are having a struggle right now. So,
what kind of struggle they having?
Man, they starting to see the real side of how they mate really feels. You know what I'm saying? And as much as they try to play it off, sometimes when things get popping, you know what I'm saying, and the real feelings, the true feelings come out. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of pressure is being applied. And
have you ever been in an interracial relationship, girl?
Oh man, see, you asking me questions I don't answer.
This is your topic.
I haven't been in an interracial relationship since middle school.
Okay, but there's nothing wrong with it. But there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's just it's just it ain't. It's special criterias.
Mm-hmm. I have a question.
We know how Joe is with his rules and regulations.
I have a question. I feel like a lot of Black people don't think dating a Spanish person. I don't feel like they think that's interracial dating. Do you feel like that, Joe? Like if you was with a Spanish girl, would that be
that's definitely interracial? It's definitely interracial. It definitely is. I mean, I see why they would think like that, but. Because they, Spanish people are pretty much Black people. Spanish people would deny that, but that's what it really is. You know what I'm saying? But it's in regards to the fact if it's not something that you're usually ethnically used to, then I guess they would be like,
dating an African person would be interracial.
That's more like intercultural, like a cultural difference more than
Right.
I don't think so.
race.
'Cause
So,
I think that Africans that live in Africa separate
uh-huh.
themselves
From black,
from African Americans.
they do
So I think it would be technically because we're like
different.
half African, half American, whatever that means.
Mm.
And so to date a pure African, that would
Mhm.
probably be interracial because then it's like different cultures too.
It'd probably be more like intercontinental. You know what I'm saying?
Intercontinental.
Yeah, that's what it more likely be like. But yeah, I can see that too. But I mean, I doubt anyone's gonna be like, I'm in an interracial relationship with your black African American with an African woman or man. You know what I'm saying? Because the same could be said about if you date somebody that's from Jamaica or the Virgin Islands.
Else that is intercultural.
It's intercultural, not interracial. Oh, okay, cool. That's what it is. That's what's up.
Okay. Well, learn something new today. I don't know where B went.
All right.
Yeah, she always disappearing and coming back. And,
right. For real. But yeah, so what do you feel about this topic, Mel?
I've never been. No.
Have you dated somebody? Yeah.
I have.
Okay.
Actually.
How was your experience?
I dated a Dominican guy
Okay.
many years ago.
Okay.
And he was like the sweetest, He was the sweetest. He was a very nice guy. So for me, my intercultural or interracial relationship was successful.
Okay.
It didn't work out. We were really young,
Okay.
but he was extremely romantic.
Can you unmute me? Says
Yeah.
unmuted.
We can hear you.
We can hear you though. Here she go.
Here she go again. But so
It wouldn't be MelBee's tea if we didn't have technical difficulties.
every week.
You're not muted.
Love it.
Yeah, every week. It wouldn't be Mel. Oh, there she go again. She done disappeared. Yeah. So tell me, how was it? How would you compare it to you dating an African American man versus a Dominican man? I mean, the Dominican man. Was it different? What would you say the differences were? How about that?
I would say that people are different and people have similarities. Like, I don't really feel like, out of all of the guys that I've dated, he was the most romantic, but I think that just goes for, along with Spanish culture. I feel like, Spanish people, whether it's Dominican, Puerto Rican, or from Brazil. Are you here, B?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you here?
Yo, I promise you. I said this wouldn't be MelBee's tea if we didn't have some type of technical difficulties on my end.
Pretty much.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that's just. I think one of our viewers is asking Joe where he's from.
Yeah, I'm from the Bronx in New York, but I live in Georgia right now.
Yeah. So back to me. No, I was saying that I think I don't really like to judge based on race. Of course there's gonna be differences as far as culture and things that, the way we eat, the type of music that we listen to, the overall dynamic of the household. But I've never dated a white guy before.
Have you been approached by white guys?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
What about you, B? Because I feel like I've been talking about me for like 15 minutes.
You're right.
I mean, it was my first boyfriend. I was 15, 16. He was white.
Okay.
Growing up, I always had a crush on the white boys, Zach, and all the 90210 characters.
Oh my God, from Saved by the Bell.
Yes.
That was my boyfriend.
Yeah. So I think that like the whole interracial dating, like my kid's father, he's Jamaican, Haitian, and Cuban. So there was a lot of different cultural differences as far as like foods and how he cleaned. He cleaned different than I did. He just had a different outlook on certain things. But as far as race, like we both were Black, like we had that connection where like when you look at somebody that's Black like you, regardless if they're from another country, do you just have that connection? So he understood like being natural. He understood all those things because he was a Black man. We just had cultural differences.
Right.
Okay. And so, how did you compare it to you when you got around to dating a Black man?
So I feel like dating a Black American, because I'm part West Indian too, but dating a Black American, there was a big difference with the, and I'm not throwing shade, but the lack of effort around the house. I feel like the West Indian men are more proactive when it comes to cleaning, cooking, and getting things done, working, fixing things around the house.
Paying bills, that's a big thing. Whereas the Black American man was more laid back and, laid back.
Are you saying laid back, like low key saying lazy?
Yeah, lazy. Yeah, he would help out, but it would be more in a playful way. Like maybe on my birthday, I might get like help around the house. But with the West Indian guy, it was consistent. It was like part of his everyday life. Like certain things you just have to do. So
that's what's up. Yeah, I definitely support that. I wouldn't. I hate to say I never could see myself in the capacity of being with a white woman seriously, just like you said,
even if she had a fatty, even if she had a real big fat,
there's a purpose for that, and then there's a long-term picture you got to look at. So you know what I'm saying, I got nothing against white women. I see all the time when I go to work, and I go to I was at this one dude's house for work this week, and he had a white woman. And he looked like the dude straight off of Get Out, like straight like that.
He looked good. That's one of my crushes. So
I mean, he was darker than dark, and he had the eyes popping and everything. And then her kids were, they white as can be, and she's white as can be, and I was like, whoa. And what's up, Rich? And he, I was like, hey, that worked for him. And then I kind of took a quick look to see if she had a little fatty or something, but she didn't. I was like, okay, more power to you, bro. So left it at that. But so what would you say?
Oh yeah, this is your topic. I'm ready to take over. Go ahead.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. So would you feel like, all right, let's say if you let me ask both of y'all this. Are you still open to interracially dating at this moment?
Of course.
Okay. How about you, Mel?
I would say, thanks, Ishmael.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
A lot of people say that they like our chemistry. We're good because me and Joe are earth signs. B is water, so we just
make a splash.
No, we just gel. But what was the question?
Are you still open to interracially dating today?
Yes, I am actually. And I feel like this is an important topic for Black women because I feel like a lot of us, we tend to limit our prospects when it comes to dating by, staying, within our race or being loyal, whatever. And I think that if you have good chemistry with the person and you kind of fill them out and it seems like it's a good match, I don't think that you should limit yourself, because unless you just have a problem with other races, which is a whole nother issue. Yes, people have their preferences. Yes, there are, things about specific races and cultures that people are kind of drawn to or attracted to. But I feel like love is love at the end of the day. Like, I don't feel like I would. Now, personally, when I'm on dating apps, I will say that I don't tend to choose white men. Only because because I feel like in order for me to date a white guy, I have to be around him. Like I have to pick up on his mannerisms, see if they're like if he makes me feel uncomfortable, only because it's just something new, you know. But that goes for anybody, you know, anybody that I meet.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's what true facts, Rich. So exactly. If you don't have knowledge of yourself and what what you dealing with and how you are, you could get sucked in real bad, and you could be in a bad situation. That's real talk. So so let me ask you this. So in this current climate right now, the George Floyd situation, and let's say you had a white guy approach you and he wanted to date you, would you make discussing this topic one of your priorities before you even go any further?
Even before this, even before the George Floyd, the revolution, the 2020 revolution, I definitely would bring up race. I was talking to an Italian guy and he kept it real with me. He told me that his grandparents are racist. And I was like, that was it for me right there. He's like, well, my parents are good, but my grandparents, they're a little racist. And I'm like,
a little.
Yeah, I'm like, I couldn't even move forward.
There's no measurement.
Right.
So you are, you're not.
Right. So I'm open to definitely dating outside my race. But that conversation is very it's very important, especially in the beginning about, dating outside your race. And I definitely don't want to be the first black girl.
Right, so you can take another sip.
Listen, let me tell y'all something. I've been good all week. I waited until Sunday to have my special little drink. Okay.
What's that, baby? What you drinking on over there, baby?
This is some Jamaican rum that one of my patients brought me, and I mixed it with some like.
They probably wanted you to drink it with them and not you by yourself.
No, he didn't want to drink it with me, Joe.
So. All right, so I definitely agree with you though, because the one girl that I do remember that I dated that was a Caucasian woman. She was she did tell me her parents were racist.
There's no R in Caucasian.
Caucasian.
No, I didn't say R. Maybe it's just my accent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But so she told me her parents were racist, so I already knew it wasn't gonna go far anyway. Right. And he was middle school, so I ain't know any better. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't thinking of it like that. We was attracted to each other, and that was that. And we kept it moving. And after that, I can't remember too many other occasions that I dated outside of my race.
Spanish, like Puerto Rican is considered biracial too. Like a biracial girl or a Spanish girl, that's considered. Like, especially if the biracial girl was like brought up by her white mother. I feel like they're just different. They're not the same. How you feel, Mel? I don't know. I feel like biracial girls that are brought up with a white mother, if she has a black father, most likely he's not in the house. God forgive me. But yeah. So she might only know the white side. So I would consider that like dating a white girl with black features.
But I don't know because I feel like it depends on the environment, because you could be a black person in a black household, but then you go to like an all white school, is that considered biracial even if you date a black guy? Because you've never been around black people, so you don't really have that culture.
But you're black. So when you look in the mirror.
So what's the difference between that and somebody that's raised by a white parent? Like, they're still black. They just don't have those cultural
differences.
They can't relate, they can't relate as much. I think that's. What were you saying?
No, I guess it could be either. I feel like once you have like a white parent and you're raised with a white parent, are you considered more white? Like, what side do you? Because you would have to search for your blackness. You would have to like do research. You would have to. Yeah. Like, it's not just because you have black blood in you. It does, although, because I was not raised West Indian. I was raised by my mom. And because I'm West Indian, I feel like there's a lot of things about me, like I gravitate to more the West Indian side, even though I wasn't raised.
Like in
You
your
know.
genes,
Huh?
you're calling out to your soul.
Right. You know, it's like it's inside my bones. It's in me, regardless.
That's
So
what's up. That's what's up.
I mean,
So-
I feel like as far as like in today's climate, it has to be challenging, you know, especially for people that are just starting a relationship, or maybe they've been in a relationship for a while and they're an interracial couple, kind of seeing what each other agree on or disagree on. Like, I remember reading something earlier. It was in a group that I'm in, and people were talking about this topic. And there was one girl or woman, I should say, that was like, you know, she felt a little distant from her partner who was a white guy because she didn't like how he was reacting to certain things that was going on. Like she had brought up, I think, Breonna Taylor a couple of weeks ago, and he kind of like was very dismissive. And she felt very emotional about what had happened. And the fact that he couldn't really empathize with her anger, you know, she felt like a disconnect, like because she wasn't with a black guy, that he can't relate to her. And I feel like that would probably be the biggest challenge, or one of the biggest challenges with being in an interracial relationship right now, with the tension of, you know, the world, because it's not even just the United States. You know, the overall energy is just a little, nobody really knows like what the other person is thinking. Like earlier, I went to Walmart and this white guy was like standing in front of me, like, and I said to him, I said, "Am I in your way?" And he's like, and I'm like, okay, let me just move my shopping cart. Like he was scared to tell me. And I was like, wow, is that how everybody is now? Is everybody kind of like just scared to like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to move. I don't want to do this, you know?
Right.
They scared. They scared that they're gonna end up losing their job. You say anything, they say anything, look at us wrong, they're afraid. And I don't want that energy. I want it to be authentic. You know, I feel like everybody is being extra nice, extra sensitive, extra fragile with me since, you know, this whole revolution started. And I hope people just be authentic. I mean, shit, if you're racist, that's your business. Just don't go outside spitting in people's food, calling people out, doing things to harm them. If that's your preference, if you don't like Chinese, Black, Indian, that is your business. You know, that's how I feel, honestly. Some people don't like redheads. Like, are you you know, that's your preference. You don't like redheads. You don't like meat. You don't like vegetables. So not like a whole race of people is ignorant. We know that, but just keep that shit to yourself. And especially when you're dating somebody, like, don't go try to date a black man to get your daddy mad. And the next thing you know, he's the next one on the news, God forbid, shot and killed by a racist father because you have a daughter that wants to rebel. You know, it is tough, especially in the dating. I have friends who are white, who are dating black men, and they're going through it right now. They're getting all types of emails and messages, and it's crazy. It's really crazy because you should be able to be with whoever you love. If you don't like it, close your eyes to it.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes, you know, for me personally, the only reason why I think I haven't dated a white guy is because I'm not around a lot of white people all the time. Like when I was in school, I was most of the time, especially my science classes, I was like the only black person in class. But being in class is very different from being in social situations. And certain jokes I might not find funny, you know, certain mannerisms I might not pick up on. And I find it challenging sometimes to read white men. You know, like with black guys, I can like kind of tell like if he's flirting with me, if he likes me, or if he's like kind of just shy, whatever, because that is what I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with the mannerisms. But with white guys, it's like
They all seem like serial killers. God forgive me. I'll be like, nah, I'm good. I know they're
I
not.
don't know. I don't want to
be
say
honest.
serial killers.
That's how
but
I feel.
I
Shit.
feel like kind of like I can't really tell if they just being nice, or if they find me attractive or if they're flirting. That's the only thing that I have a problem with. Like I can't really read their cues,
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing with me, the area I live in out here in Georgia, it's pretty much like 50-50 black, white, and it's a lot of biracial kids out here. And you always tend to see the ones who try to, what can I say, kind of like show off, like if they have a black woman and they kind of like, yeah, I got her, and they just extra like clingy to her. You can see it just don't even look authentic. It's just like, oh, this is my trophy right here. I got me a black woman. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I just be looking at dudes, and I'd be like, you really feel that way? Like for real? Like you know what I'm saying? Like they really go in hard, and then I see it the other way around too. I'll be seeing the brothers with the trailer trash kind of chick, and you know what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, cool. That's what you feel. That's what you want. That's who you're in love with. That's what you do. You know what I'm
But I
saying?
think
And
sometimes people like to have. It's almost like a badge of honor when that's my overall perception sometimes. Even when it comes to like being, because I grew up in the Bronx, me and B talk about this often, where the Spanish girl or the Dominican girl, I should say Puerto Rican,
Any other girl but the black girl. She could be
right,
Chinese, Albanian, it don't matter.
they're looked at as being like kind of like exotic, something different than the norm. And I
exactly.
think that a lot of black guys look at white women the same way. Like it's kind of like not unforbidden fruit, but it's a different flavor, you know. But
Vanilla.
on the flip side, I feel like white men look at black women the same way. Like
Yeah.
anytime that a white guy, I feel this is my opinion. I feel like white men are more are attracted to black women, the ones that are, because it's something different about us. It's something that, they're not used to. We talk different, we dress different, we smell different, we use cocoa butter and shea butter, and it's a different flavor. But at the same time, I feel like they look at us more like in
Trophies.
admiration. Not like trophies. It can be like, either way. But I feel like the way white men look at black women that they're attracted to is like real different from how black men look at black women. Like they don't like a black guy
They
might like adore
they
you
you
or
feel like
whatever.
that they're walking on eggshells, so they doing everything they can do right. That you would, based upon the knowledge of what they feel like how black men treat black women, and they want to do it, and then they already got the stigma of being white, so they already want to try to be the best man that they can be to you, and do everything they possibly can to not mess.
I'll compare it to, because like if you as a woman you deal with a guy that like knows that you're like out of his league, he's gonna act that way the same way, whether he's black, white, Asian, Spanish. Like he's gonna be like, "Oh, do you need me to hold the door? Like, do you want me to,
Yeah.
But a
Yeah.
lot of black guys don't really. Y'all be trying to play it cool too much. Even if you, even if you like feel like somebody is out of your league, like you'll play it cool to the point where she be like, "Damn, do you even like me?"
Yeah.
I heard that before.
And that's
I
kind of
definitely-
annoying sometimes because
Very.
you want to be
We
able
got time for
to
that.
be
So
with somebody that adores you and admires you and puts you on a pedestal as a woman, regardless of what their race is.
I was going to say, do you feel like, go ahead, John.
No, go ahead. So make your point, because I'm about to ask you a question and put you in a scenario.
Do you feel like white women are put more on a pedestal when they're dating a black man? Like if a I don't even need to ask you if you feel. We already know. Yes, I know when a black man is dating a white woman, he puts her up here. And when he's dating a Spanish woman, he puts her up here. Meaning that they would tolerate more from them than they would a black girl. That's how I feel. That's what I observe. I know it to be a fact. And I wonder why. Because now I'm looking at everything that's going on. And who do you see out there? You see your black women out there. Y'all want to big us up and call us queens and all of that. But then when it's time to like get married or
take babies,
y'all pick the other. I mean, I know they say they feel like they're more attracted to them or whatever it is. They're softer, they're more feminine than black women. So it's easier for them to be in a relationship with the other, meaning Chinese, white, Spanish. Do you feel, Joe, like if you had a white woman, you said you wouldn't date or go that far, but
you could do Spanish, I'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, Spanish. Yeah. A Spanish girl, like a J-Lo. I don't know who's like the baddest Spanish chick to you. If you had one of her compared to like a Serena Williams, do you feel like you would cater more to the Spanish chick?
I mean, I think what it comes down to, I'm not trying to avoid your question. I think that would be a hard question to answer because culturally the women act different. Mm-hmm. Just like when I was in the Marine Corps, they used to tell us like the other Marines that went to like Japan and other countries, they be like the women over there just culturally different, so they treat the men differently compared to when you're here. And you see each other every day as black men and black women, and then y'all kind of go through the little changes and the little disappointments and things of that nature. You just already built a stigma against each other. So I think it makes it a little more difficult between us versus someone who's not a part of our race who could be genuine because they're not used to dealing with us every day. You know what I'm saying? They could be themselves. And like I said, I've heard it many, many times from many dudes, like, pretty much any other woman that they met outside of their race has treated them differently. It's just a more of a, I don't know. I want to say it's not like a catering, but I think it's more nurturing, and it's not it's more nurturing, and it's not like it's not offensive and defensive because you gotta look at it like this. Like you could be with a black woman and you could treat her well, and then she'll turn around and call you weak. You can treat her nice. You could do nice things for her. You could be like, hey, I want to make sure you ain't walking on the curb, or I want to open the door for you. And if you do it after so many times, she's going to be like, this nigga weak. Like, he ain't going to, I need him to tell me no, or they look for some kind of negativity in that situation because that's what they're used to. You know what I'm saying?
Mentality.
Huh?
The victim mentality. The oppressor mentality.
Yeah, and then they get to that point. So then when you try to open yourself to a black woman, and this is in my experience, you get they give you their ass to kiss. Like man, you weak as fuck.
Oh, you think black women don't give you a safe place to express your emotions? Is that what you're saying?
Not at all. Because if you do, unless you, the only time you get a point to express your emotions as a guy, as a black man dating a black woman, is when y'all way further in the relationship. You can't do that shit at the front because she gonna feel some kind of way about you, and then or also too, she gonna be like, she gonna.
What type of women he be dating out?
Yeah,
that's his karma. That's his karma. He'll probably be like super closed off.
No, it's just, and then what they do is it'll look like that they'll feel like you're manipulating them because you're opening up to them because they're not used to that.
Opening up about what though? I need an example. Like, so what do you feel like is a vulnerable? Now, I will say this: being too vulnerable too early is a red flag, regardless of what our relationship is. When you even when you meet someone and you just trying to be their friend. A little and telling you about their childhood trauma and stuff like that. It kind of comes across as like, okay, this person
got issues.
Has issues, but they don't know how to let the relationship flow organically enough to where we can both like. I want to feel if you're opening up to me, I want to also feel safe to open
Right.
up to you. It should be an exchange.
Right.
But when you're the only person opening up because it's too early, that's gonna make the other person look at you like, okay, this is like awkward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But usually I think it depends on the person, because some people you got to lead them to that water like that, and some people you just don't. So you just got to really read the people that you're dealing with and kind of feel like what direction are they heading? Are they more emotionally intuitive or not? You know what I'm saying? And then but yeah, like I said, like I had a situation where I've dated someone, and I was like, I always ask the woman, what is your past dating experience? Because I want to see what you're used to. So you know me, I'm just evaluating. And
You be asking her this on the first date.
I'm not asking her first date. I'm asking this is all the time. No, because
he has a little checklist like check, nope.
Hey, I don't even see nothing wrong. I'm about to just print out a paper and just be like, here, answer these questions. I'm gonna buy you a drink. When you finish answering them, you hit me back. You know what I'm saying? Do it like that.
We know you do, Joe. You can knock it off.
Okay. But yeah, for the most part, she was like, she told me what she was dealing with, dating, the type of dude she was used to, and then she was like, I was like, okay, well, I'm just not on that kind of tip, so you should probably be looking for something a little more different. And she was like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not used to that. She's told me straight up like that. It's gonna take some time for me to get used to that, because I'm not used to getting treated that way.
Used to what? Like
she was like, I was like, well, it sounded
like what is it that you was doing that you told her you the type of person that does X, Y, and Z that she said she's not?
I was just like I'm the dude that's aware of, okay, where your positioning is on walking in the street. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the dude that's gonna open the door for you. I'm not gonna do it every time, because I know you would want, if it makes sense.
Hey, you said,
why would you even tell her those things? Like, to me, those are the things that you show.
Because she asked me.
Thank you, B. That's like
because she asked me this. She was like, "What do
you asked her? You say
I asked her about her past situations. She asked me, what do you consider different from what they gonna do, what they did?" And I was like, "Well, this is what kind of guy I am." And
she was wrong for asking that question. You was wrong for revealing what type of person you are in that type of manner, because it does sound like game. I would say the same thing, like, nah, you're not for me, because I'm gonna feel like it's a script. Like you tell every girl that. It sounds so perfect, like you just wrote it down.
Well, most of the time,
this is your spiel.
And it's exactly what B said. Like most of the time, when a guy is trying to run game on you, he will ask you, and this is from a woman's perspective. He'll ask you like, "What are you looking for in a man?" So I can be that for the next 60 days or 90 days or however long it takes you to give it to me. And then I'm going to take the mask off. Yep. Like, I don't want to hear, "Oh, I'm a gentleman. And I like to buy my women flowers. And I like to hold doors. And I like to walk on the outside of the street." Like, no, just do it.
Yeah, just show him through.
And then I will be the one to judge and say, wow, I'm not going to tell you. I probably might tell you later on, but in my head, I'm going to be like, wow, this is a different type of guy. Like, I'm feeling his vibe, and let me give him a chance.
Right.
As opposed to like somebody telling me, "Oh, I'm this type of person." Like, it's not really, I mean, certain things that you got to like show and prove.
Yeah.
But now, if you telling me all these type of things that you do, now just like how you got the checklist, I'm doing the checklist too later on. Like, well, he didn't do this yet. Maybe that means he don't like me. Women have to think like that. We think like, okay, well, why is he telling me this? Like, what does he want in return? Like, does he think I have to like, because he's not doing this for me, does that mean that I gotta jump through hoops to try to get this behavior from him? Like, no.
Sorry, the sun is in my eye. Yeah, I feel what you're saying though, Joe, because it could be tricky, because it's like she kind of asked you a question and you felt like you was answering honestly.
Right.
But yeah, that was like, she shouldn't even ask that question. I try not to reveal shit about my past relationships when I'm dating, because I don't want you to use it against me or use it as a reference to do the absolute opposite. You know, it's real easy, to like trick somebody when you give them the blueprint of what not to do.
Mhm.
But I don't know. We kind of got off of the interracial dating.
All the way
I
off
did want
on a tangent.
to bring up a point because I have a lot of family members that have, family and friends who have white children or whatever, interracial, biracial kids. And this whole thing, everything that's going on, how do you look to your biracial kid and say, Black Lives Matter, but your dad is white? His life matters too. It's hard. It has to be hard for them to like love both sides. So I wonder, like, if there's anybody out there listening, like, what do you tell your biracial child that Black Lives Matter and your dad's life matters too, but right now it's about Black lives and you're half white, half Black? Like, doesn't that
the world is gonna see them as a Black person,
Right?
Unless they have like straight.
Well, look at. I'm not gonna name any names, but one of my good friends, her daughter she has Black features, but she's very, very, very fair skinned, and she has blue-green eyes with curly hair. So,
but they're still gonna be looked at as an other. They're not gonna be. They don't look white. They can't look all. I mean, there's some people that look white. Like they don't look like they're mixed with anything. But I feel like as long as you're a person of color, regardless of if you all the way Black or Asian or Spanish or whatever, you're gonna come in contact with some type of racial tension or feel uncomfortable in certain situations. So I feel like if they're biracial, they should know the struggles of the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because that's gonna be more like what they're gonna have to deal with.
And I think that's like the hardest part with the whole interracial dating is raising a child, because it's like, I'm going to explain to you my Black struggle. I don't want you to grow up hating your white side. I don't want you growing up despising your Black side. So that has to be like
tough.
It has to be tough. And that's why, honestly, I prefer, no, I'm not against any other race, but I prefer sticking to my own, because that's one hurdle we never have to like cross. We're Black. We both understand each other's struggle. And it ends right there.
I'm gonna put y'all in a scenario real quick. So let's say y'all was both in a interracial relationship and maybe like a year deep into it, and you find out your partner has an issue with what's going on right now. Do you feel like that's enough for you to end it based on y'all have a connection, or do you feel like y'all can work through that?
A year, if I'm in love with you, I feel like, because I'm very indifferent and I always see both sides. I think if I felt like the relationship was going to lead to marriage and this was my soulmate, my lifelong partner, I will work through it. I will work through it, because just the same way we have a feeling about Black lives and the things that happen to Black people, white people have this, they have a feeling too, especially the ones that are our age, that they don't have a racist bone in their body. Why should, I'm not saying they shouldn't, but yeah, why should they apologize for their great-great-grandparents' their faults? So they may not view things the same way. So yeah, I would definitely work through it. And hopefully it wouldn't be anything where it's like a racial tension. Like he's like, oh, I hate, N-words, or, you Black, whatever. But if he felt indifferent and was like, wow, whatever, and it's something that we could work through, yeah, I will work through it.
Good. And then, so let me, I'm gonna put an extra twist to it. So what if he felt like y'all worked through it and he felt like it was in your best interest to participate in what's going on right now?
See, no, now the relationship, because you shouldn't be telling me if it ain't harming me, then, and it's for a good cause, then no. Because if he's doing that with this, then he's going to do it with other things too. So,
right.
And how about you, Melissa?
Can you ask the question again? You look like
you wasn't even drinking today.
All right.
Look, I'm almost done, y'all.
So when you in a 1 year relationship with a white guy, any race, and y'all been together, y'all in love, and he pretty much reveals to you that he doesn't support what's going on with the Black Lives Matter movement. are you going to work through that, or are you going to leave them, or what you going to do?
I don't know, because I be
You make
leaving.
6 figures. Look, I'm like, you make 6 figures.
You ain't got to think about it like that.
And you could be a stay-at-home wife.
Right. Like, well, how much money he make now? I don't know. I be leaving people real quick. Like,
right, you can't even measure that long. A year's too long, right?
a year, like if we make it to a year, I have to consider a lot of different things. Like, what does he have an issue with? Is the issue because he doesn't understand? Like, he can't empathize with the situation of being Black? Like, can I help him with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be a good question.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like beating a dead horse, trying to get him to understand, like, you know, why things are wrong. Like, I don't feel like you need to be Black to understand, like, it's wrong to be killed free by an authority figure or someone that's supposed to be protecting. So that would be an issue for me. Like, regardless of if we were friends in a relationship, whatever, you know.
Right.
But I would probably say all that to say, if he has an issue, like, I would probably leave. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's certain things are out of my control and it's beyond compromise. Like, I couldn't, if he doesn't understand, like, the severity of it without me having to explain it to him, then it's probably not going to matter who explains it. You know what I'm saying? So that, I think that would be kind of hard for me. And I think that's like the number one issue that I have with, like, dating outside my race, is because certain things, you never really know a person until a situation presents itself to see how they're going to react or what their reaction is going to be. That's why they say when you dating, you should go on road trips. You should be in all types of situations to see how the person reveals their character, you know, to see if this is somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you know, and certain things that you can't fold on, you know, and especially, you know, issue that is going to affect me personally.
For my children.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be fair to say, so if he, with the same question I gave to Brandy, if he was like, I feel like it would be safer for you to stay in the house, I don't want you to participate in this movement, you'd be gone, because you already made it seem like that's fair. That's a fair statement.
I mean, that's different. Like, how you worded it to Brandy, you ain't say nothing about safety. Now, okay. I don't need nobody telling me to stay my ass in the house to be safe. Like, this is where I'm at right now in the house because I'm a mom, you know, and I can't.
I wasn't going outside anyway, but
right.
I'm sorry.
Bystander or get locked up or anything. Like, I
can't do it.
Use social media platforms. I will. You know, I will just voice how I feel based on my circumstances. So I wouldn't be out there, you know, rioting and protesting anyway. Now, if he was concerned and didn't want me to protest because of my safety, I feel like that's a different story. Now, if he tells me, oh, I can't believe you want to be out there, you're nothing like them, and, you know, that's a whole different conversation. That's when it gets personal. Like, okay, what do you mean them? Like, what are you separating me from other Black people? Because you do realize that I'm Black. Like, and I think
and you move your neck like that too, right?
And I was going to say that too. Be like, sometimes people will be in interracial relationships and only not be racist towards their mate. But then when it comes to other people, it's like, oh, you're nothing like them.
Right.
Or I'm not talking about you, babe. You're, you know, certain
He's a good boy.
Like that. Those are dangerous. You know.
I always said that a dangerous racist behind closed doors. I mean, a racist behind closed doors is more dangerous than someone blatantly just racist. Because you never know how they're gonna switch up.
And I'm gonna give y'all a free story too. One of my, you know, doing my work.
Free. I like free.
I do cable. Went to this one dude house. He was from Jersey, white dude. You know, he was cool. We was chopping it up. It was all good. Like, we was really on some cool, just talking about random stuff. I actually used the bathroom, went to his bathroom,
Oh.
turn around, go, you wash my hands. I see this picture on the wall, and it says the last baby in the tub is a nigger. It's four babies and one black baby in the tub, just trying to get in the tub. So I confronted him about it. So I was like, where'd you get that picture from? And he was like, oh, he didn't have a clue what I was talking about. He was like, oh, yeah, I got it. The last people that lived here, they left it here, so I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, you know what picture I'm talking about, right? He was like, nah, not really. I was like, yeah, I saw the one that says last one in the tub is a nigga. And he froze up like, am I about to get my ass whooped? And I was like, he was like, I probably should take that down, huh? I was like, yo, it's your house. You do what you do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm letting you know, I'm aware that I seen that, and
Right.
we might have an issue. And after that, he kind of like avoided me and stayed. He didn't know what to say. Like he was walking with his head down, like a sad little puppy. And I might have not been his; it could have been his son's or whatever the case may be. But just the fact that you even have it in your house, and I'm pretty sure you have to use that bathroom before and seen that picture there, that you have some awareness or feel some kind of way, but you're all mad cool in my face. Like we grew up together, you know what I'm saying? And that was a hidden situation. Or when I go to situations where I go to people who have Confederate flags outside their house, before the first thing they do before they even say hi to me is they say it's heritage and not hate. And I'll be like, I'm here to be the cable, dude. Like, I feel you. I got my own opinion. I ain't asked you about that. So you're already feeling guilty about how you already know you got the guilt on your mind. As you see me as a black man coming to your house with the Confederate flag outside. And we don't realize it's really you're actually a traitor to the country, because that's what it was. They was rebels. So, but yeah, we went off that topic. So yeah, but yeah, coming back to that. Interracial dating, yeah, like I said, I think it would be a little harder for me with dealing with a white woman than it would be with any other race.
Is it only because of the differences culturally or physical, like appearance, like the way white women look?
Both.
Okay, so you're more attracted to what a black woman, and because there's white girls with bodies. Like,
yeah,
it's
that's
not a body thing, because I know how you all about the ass joke.
You got to think about the long
ass.
Yeah, we got to look at the long term, because I don't really see too many super bad white women in the 50s. They kind of like just they just.
I thought you like average. I thought you like average.
Are they melting?
Yeah, it's like it gets all bad, especially the ass is fake. You already know they ain't natural. So
I thought you like average chicks, though.
I do. I like average looking women.
So if it's somebody outside of the race, they gotta be like super bad.
Yeah, they do. Especially if more like a white woman, you have to be more like a bad looking white chick, like as far as like Spanish chicks or something. Yeah, they could be, because most of them got they naturally are beautiful. So it's average to me. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Just when I manifest a husband, I want a black man, of course. Yeah. That's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I want to share my life with.
When it comes down,
when I bring up episodes of Martin, like, I don't want you to be looking at me like, what? Like, you need to know, like, on point, what episode I'm talking about. Stuff like that. And that was one of the differences that I noticed being with a West Indian and American man. Like, my kid's father, he didn't watch Martin. Like, he didn't watch none of those shows. So
what if it's a white guy that grew up in the hood, though? Like, that's
different. That's different. And they're hard to come
by. A white guy that's like, you can't even tell he's white.
Like my best friend, she grew up in the hood, so I don't ever see color with her, because we both watched the same things, ate the same things. She used to come with me to Kwanzaa festivals, and I told you, Louis Farrakhan, my mom was real big on like having me like at all different type of marches, and my best friend, white as can be, will be right there with us. Kwanzaa celebrations and everything. So she's definitely culturally aware, and I never felt like, oh, she's white and I'm black. I never felt that. So I guess it's the same thing in an interracial relationship. Like after a while, you're just gonna blend together and be like one person. So I'm all for it. I'm all for the swirl.
Now, swirl.
All down for the swirl.
I think for me, even though nobody asked me, but I'll give my commentary anyway.
Nobody asked me either.
I think for the most part, I just I want something that's real, you know, something that we get each other.
Right.
Regardless of what the race is. Yes, I would probably prefer a black man only because I'm like super attracted to them.
Yes.
I love black men.
Me too.
Not me.
However, I'm
Y'all
not
don't be
gonna,
loving us back. No, I'm joking.
however, I will say that I'm not gonna limit myself when it comes to dating and when it comes to love. Like there's of course there's a lot of different, you know, components that have to be a part of it. But for the most part, it's all about the connection, it's all about the communication, it's all about how he is as a person.
Yeah.
That's to determine how long the relationship continues.
That's what's up. Brandy?
Yes. Yes.
What is your wrap-up statement?
My wrap-up statement is that I'm single. I'm ready to mingle. I don't care if it's black, blue, green, as long as you love me and take care of me. No, my wrap-up statement is that I just want all this crap to end. I want it to end, and I want us to be one big mesh and happy, loving human world, right? Like
Universe.
human being. But you know, I'm over it. I have white friends, black friends, Spanish friends. I grew up in the Bronx, so you already know, like
The diversity.
very
Yeah.
Europe, you know, I get my, I go to the bodega, I get my bacon, egg, and cheese. So it's like, I just want us to go back to, well, we never went back, but I just want us to start loving, respecting each other as people, not so much as a race. I don't want you to see me as a black ratchet, whatever. And I don't want you to see our black men as hood rats or hoodlums, because we're not all that way. And if you're in an interracial relationship right now, I know it's hard, but listen, love conquers all. Stick with your mate. Understand where they're coming from. Be open to learning about different cultures and different ways, or just therapy, whatever you need to keep your relationship strong. I feel like it's worth it. And just love each other. That's it.
That's it.
That's it, pero that's it, mommy. That's it, mommy.
I would have to say on this topic, I want people to be aware that as much as we want everything to go the way we like it to, there's some people's minds you're just not going to be able to change. And that's just reality. And you're going to have to live in the same world with those people as well. And the only thing you could do is try to find more like-minded people like yourself to make the process a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? I got some white friends. I got some real cool white friends. I met plenty of cool white people. I know it's not all of them. And I know, I just want a lot of people to keep that in mind, you know what I'm saying, going through this process. It's definitely fun to date interracially, because you get to get exposed to other cultures and learning, finding changes within yourself. Like, okay, cool. I learned something from it. Just like when you go through every situation, every relationship, you take something from it to take it into your new situation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that would be any different interracially. I just prefer not to have white women, but I love my black women, you know what I'm saying? I love my Spanish women, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's all good. But yeah, like I said, just don't frustrate. You only can control what you can control. You can't control the world. You can't. So when you start trying to take control of things that's out of your control, you're going to drive yourself crazy. You're going to get mad. You're going to be frustrated. But at the end of the day, you just got to remember what you can control is what's going to make it easier for you. And going from there, we're not here to change everybody's mind. Everybody's mind is not going to be changed.
Nope. So, and we don't need to change everybody's mind.
Yeah.
That's their business. As long as they don't harm you or do anything to destroy your life, it's none of your damn business how they feel. Keep it moving.
And it's also perfectly fine for y'all to have differences. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like we can't have a difference in opinion, but it's perfectly fine for you to have a difference in opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to agree with everything that everyone says, even in your relationships or your marriages.
Mm-hmm. And differences spice it up. No one wants the same thing over and over again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you were going to say something now? Ooh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I feel like, it's all about understanding. Like, we need to all try to just understand each other in our everyday interactions, even if we're of the same race. We have to, go into different situations with an open mind. And if we disagree with someone's opinion, kind of just try to understand their perspective. They may be able to teach us something. Like Joe was saying, you should be able to grow from every interaction that you have, whether it's a relationship or a friendship. Like, you should be able to take something from that interaction. And if it's not understanding, then what are you taking?
Right.
And I feel like just lead with love. Always have that aura around you of love and peace and harmony, and exude that. And I'm pretty sure that you're gonna attract, more of those experiences. But if you have like a lot of hate inside of you already, like, that's all you're gonna observe, in my opinion.
Yep.
I feel like if you're, a person that is always angry, always finding something to be upset about, always finding ways to be pissed off, like, you're going to attract other people to you that are also pissed off for whatever reason. So just work on your own energy, your own inner, being, and exude whatever it is that you want to receive from people. Be that. If you want to receive love from people, be love. If you want to, receive honesty and transparency, then you have to be that also. So that's just how I feel. Be about that life,
Be about that life. Be about that positive life.
About it. Yes, be about it.
Don't let nobody change you as you are. The world.
Yeah.
Unless you racist, then we gonna try to shade your ass.
All right, yeah, you might get your
walking
ass
around like that.
Yeah, you might get your ass whooped. You're gonna lose your job. You're gonna get.
It's so funny. I feel so weird. I feel like an alien right now that I'm not sipping on anything.
Girl, my eyes is getting low.
Yeah, I see your eyes.
We gonna wrap it up.
Like,
yes, but it was good. And I hope that
ready, so I'm good. But yes, it was good. Thank you for whoever tunes in and comments it. We appreciate the support and love. We're every Sunday. If we're not live on here, we live on Podbean. So check us out.
And YouTube, we got a YouTube channel. So make sure y'all subscribe.
Yes.
Make sure you share this video so that, leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about today's topic. Every week we
ideas. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be a part of the show. Give us topic ideas.
Yep, we take topics.
Every week we always have different topics. This week was Joe's topic. Next week, I believe, is going to be mine. So I'm going to bring it for y'all.
Bring it. Be ready.
Give one shout out, like I said, because we enjoy people coming on the show and giving topic suggestions. I want to shout out Adrian for giving the topic suggestion. We like our fans to give topic suggestions.
Shout out to Adrian. Thank you. We appreciate the love. My little heart.
So we encourage y'all as fans. We definitely not too big to take any compliments. Take show ideas. We like taking new ideas, and we like to do it for the fans. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you, Adrian. You're welcome. Yes, you will be back next Sunday.
Awesome too.
All right. Yeah.
Follow our page because we have a lot of new things in store. Some exciting things that we're gonna be working on. So definitely follow our Facebook page, YouTube, Podbean.
Yes, follow us, MelBee and a cup of Joe.
Yes.
We'll see you next Sunday.
Bye, guys. Thank you for joining.
Bye.